Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. I recently did a video on Schedule 1 versus, well, I'm going to call it DDS right now because it's a little too early in the video to take that chance, but concerning an investigation into Schedule 1 for possible infringement. And, well, apparently not the developer, but the publisher of the game, DDS 1 and DDS 2 movie games, came out and had a little statement because, well, things are going about as well as you can expect, considering the attitudes that gamers have in these situations. In case you didn't know, the developer, not the developer, I said that already, the publisher, movie games? Yes, movie games, I already said it, is putting in an investigation into Schedule 1 for IP infringements, claiming that the video games looks a little bit too similar to be a coincidence, even though, as I said in my previous video, it's very difficult to come up with a new idea right now. There's an inspiration out there across the board. Everything's inspired by something. If you want to go all the way back to Tolkien, without Tolkien, we wouldn't have D&D, Game of Thrones, or any other fantasy game. It's difficult to find something new, but hey, here we are. But let's get into it. Movie games decided to respond. I'll show you why they decided to respond in just a moment. Regarding, we're a minute and a half in. Let's go for it. Why not? Regarding Drug Dealer Simulator and Schedule 1 situation. Hey, everyone. We'd like to address the DDS, and I'm just going to keep going with DDS. You know what I'm talking about, right? I hope you do. DDS and Schedule 1 situation and its factual reasons, stage, and future. Factual. We're going to set you right, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Your outrage at what we're doing is unfounded. Don't worry. We're not the bad guys here, right? Yeah. What's going on exactly? Due to repeated opinions that Schedule 1 is very similar to DDS. You know, you could say the same thing about any fantasy game versus any other fantasy game. You can say the same thing about, well, one island survival game where you craft and try to live versus another or any other number of simulation games. That's the nature of the beast. You try to put in something new, something a little bit more fun and quirky and anything like that. And opinions that they're similar means squat. But let's continue. We were obliged to request legal analysis and see how much money we could get out of this from an intellectual property specialist who his only interest is to get money out of you and the offending, quote-unquote, party. It was indicated that there might have been an infringement because the IP specialist is obviously going to find something as best they can because they want to make money, especially a lowballing. Schedule 1 easily sold 150 million copies, $20 a pop. You do the math, ladies and gentlemen. Even after 150 million, 1.5 million. Holy crap, I'm thinking about movies. 1.5 million, $20 a pop. You're looking at $30 million before Steam, before taxes, even after all that stuff. You got to figure the developer, the one guy for Schedule 1, probably made close to 10 million in proceeds, profits, whatever you want to call it. So now, of course, an intellectual property specialist is going to see that big fat old number and go, I want a piece of that. And honestly, movie games, that's how you're coming across right now. But you'll see why in a moment. Indicated that there might have been an infringement by the Schedule 1 developers in relation to DDS 1 and 2. Now, we are obliged, because we want money, to follow up further, but we are not yet in contact with Schedule 1 developers. Why not? This letter, your little hopes that this little statement of yours is going to make things all that much better will make it worse. I can almost guarantee it. Because you started all this nonsense without having a discussion with the individual involved. That is scummy, vile, putrid tactics, and the way gamers respond to this is not very nicely. You'll see why in a moment, or see how. Our goal is to make all the money as we can, because our game is an absolute failure. at this point is discussing the situation with them. Liar, you'd have done that in the first place. And we have an open approach. Bullshit, bullshit, smells like bullshit to me, to me. Is there a lawsuit? No, of course not. We're not going to pursue a lawsuit unless we absolutely have to. Even though you're performing an investigation to see if you have a leg to stand on, just let it be. Go on about your business, accept your failure, and move on. You were made a laughingstock, and this letter is going to make it worse. Of course not. So why is everyone saying there's a lawsuit? Well, unfortunately, I've seen this a few times, and I wanted to respond, but I wasn't going to get involved in an argument on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. But no, there is no indication of a lawsuit. Even, oh shoot. Even all the information that I read before recording this video, before reading this little letter, no, it didn't say anything about a lawsuit. They're investigating to see if they can put forth a lawsuit because they want the monies. 1.5 million in sales, 455,000 concurrent players over this past weekend versus not even 10,000 for DDS 2. Jealousy, thy name is Movie Games because you just couldn't make a game successful enough. Why is everyone saying there's a lawsuit? Probably due to misinterpreting or overinterpreting an information which was originally in Polish. Y'all are too stupid and jumping to conclusions. There's no lawsuit yet. What's next? What's next is a lawsuit or an attempt at a lawsuit. Litigation. Like we said, although the developer, I think he's got the money. he might be able to afford litigation or afford a defense attorney to countersue them for bullshit. Can we do that still? Countersue the other person that's coming after us over nonsensical BS. Countersue them for court costs so that no money comes out of your pocket. I mean, honestly, if anything, this is going to make more people go out and buy Schedule 1 if they haven't already. Go buy it, go play it. It's fun. It's, for lack of a better term, addictive. Pun intended. Anyway, like we said, we need to start a conversation. You should have done that from day one. You should have started off with that. Why is that so difficult? But no, you're going to come across as, we're going to investigate to see if we can get any money out of it. I know I'm saying that a lot, folks, but what other way can this be seen? Unless, let's go ahead and steelman this. Unless they can find something that was copy-pasted, 100% stolen beyond a shadow of a doubt of code. Oh, the story is simulator. It's a drug dealer simulator. You start off with nothing. You grow yourself into a diabolical kingpin. What, you're copying Breaking Bad? You're copying Grand Theft Auto? Really? How many different storylines can you have where you are an aspiring dealer on the streets working your way up to be Gus Fring? How many different storylines, how many different inventive storylines can you have with that? I digress. Overall, our goal is to support all devs, and yet here you are putting forth an investigation that threatens a lawsuit. It's a hinting at a lawsuit. If your investigation comes up with anything positive that you have a leg to stand on, you will follow through with, as he says here, consider our legal obligations. If law specialists, the guys who want all of your money, a massive percentage of whatever you're going to get out of this, they want all of it. Law specialists determined that there are grounds to claim infringement. We even contacted TVGS via email just before release when the game was already huge and wished them the best. Well, your best wishes means fuck all now that you've gone down this route. And that's the problem with some of these studios. They say, oh, we're not against this. We're not against that. We're not against developers, independent developers. And then you turn around and do this. But that was before that legal analysis. That was before people got into your brain and said, oh, these are similar. These are similar opinions, that they're very similar. And of course they're similar. Similar? Of course they're similar. It's about drug dealing. It's about, they have the same concept, but you cannot copyright, or trademark a concept. Go ask PUBG about that one. Back then, no one expected to be needed. That's because you didn't realize how many copies the guy was going to sell and how much money you could make off of it if you actually had a leg to stand on. Not to mention that it would bring these results. Yeah, 455,000 concurrent players on Steam over this past weekend. Easily 1.5 million units sold. So yeah, you didn't care about it before. You figured it was going to go the same way as your failure of a game. Not selling any units. Massive concurrent player for part 2, a little over 9,000. DDS 1, a little over 7,000. Yes, I'll look these up there in the other video. This is a very serious situation to us because our game is a failure and this one's a massive success. So we're trying to get a piece of that pie. We're not a big corporation. You're acting like one. Very litigious here. But a relatively small indie publisher. There are other drug simulators out there with very positive scores and good sales. Then why aren't you going after them? They are A-OK in regards to DDS according to lawyers. Scumbags. What we know is we have to be very careful in all proceedings. How about drop them? Just drop them. Move on with it. Let the game be successful. Because otherwise, you're coming across as petty and jealous. What's the DDS developer's Bite Runner's role in all this? Doesn't matter. Collateral damage. And it's all your fault. Absolutely none. Oh. And please don't bring them into the conversation too late. You brought them in by your actions. They managed the game, not the IP. Did you really put an intellectual... You think people don't know what IP stands for? Are you shitting me? Anyway. They don't make any decisions in this matter. I'm sure they're very happy with what you, Movie Games, have done to the popularity of their games. I'm sure they're ecstatic. I hope this clears things out. Yep, it clears out just how money-grubbing, petty, and nonsensical you are in this entire matter, because you didn't contact the developer of Schedule 1 before starting this investigation, and probably haven't done it yet. They don't make any... if you know gamers outraged by this situation who aren't on this channel, please share this message with them. It'll go down like a wet fart because you didn't help yourself with this case, with this letter, Michael from Movie Games. Now, what on earth? What would prompt Michael from Movie Games to put this out there? Well, DDS 1 and DDS 2 are not faring very well on Steam charts. Steam charts on the Steam webpage. Over recent reviews, 12% of the 1,003, not even many reviews. However, it's become overwhelmingly negative as of late. And what about, same thing, mostly negative. I wonder what people are saying. Let's go take a scroll down here. Can I see the reviews? Where are we at here? This is from April 5th. Let's see what we got here. Can I do most recent? How do I sort that? Yeah, we'll go with helpful reviews in the past 30 days. I liked the game up until they became greedy and jealous that a solo game developer who created a game 10 times greater than theirs is so successful. I have a lot of respect for the person who is currently working on updating Schedule 1. If anyone is reading this thinking of buying DDS 1, trust me, buy Schedule 1 instead. Oh, that's a shame. Let's see. Can I find any other ones? April 6th. I'll be honest and save you money and buy Schedule 1. It's a much better game. It's cheaper. It's more fun. And don't sue. Oh, my goodness. April 6th. I've played 5 minutes of this game, so I could say it was the worst 5 minutes of my life. Their Discord mods and PR will ban you instantly upon having a sentence with the words Schedule 1 in it, because that's what mods do. Must be embarrassing to be beat out by a team of one LMAO. Plus the legal action, and regardless of what you say in your letter, it insinuates the probability of legal action. Just take the L. They act like, whatever those lovely little hearts are, high school kids who are mad that you started buying product elsewhere. TLDR, game is dog shite. No cars, no real... Oh, they don't have cars in DDS 1? Oh, dear. Just another company who thinks they own a set genre of game and want to act like they came up with the idea of manufacturing selling drugs. Devs obviously from gated community. Oh, I think that was a pretty good insult. This is where we're sitting. They try to respond to quell the flames of rage and hatred against the studio, the developer, the publisher. But as far as I'm concerned, only make it worse. But hey, where do you think this is going to go? Do you think they have a leg to stand on? Personally, I do not. But hey, I've eaten crow in the past. I'm going to be off to play some Schedule 1 later on tonight because I got to get a warehouse. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike. Hit that subscribe button, please. Especially if you made it this far. You might as well. Hope to see you on the next one. Bye.